Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Anything for my princess.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Big Bang Cinema! It's a film show.
Hello, when
Film show. It's
Anyway,
the
good.
Okay, yeah,
That's
that's enough
enough.
of that. Okay.
That's enough.
Anyway, guys, welcome to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac, the ingrown hair Anderson.
I'm sorry, that was really funny.
Okay, and who's this over here? This is a little change of pace.
I'm Kate, no nickname Britain.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
They
Yeah.
call me One Take Kate, but
One take, Kate. Well, you're going to have one take this time, I guess,
Ha.
because you're straight live. I mean, 6 people are watching you right now. You're
hey,
legit.
I know them.
You probably do. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for showing up. I mean, for real. Also, Tyler unfortunately couldn't be here, so Kate's filling in. So if you don't know, this is a show where we talk about movie news, movie reviews, and everything in between. So, Kate, thank you so
Yes.
much for being here. Without any further ado, I think it's time to get into our movie news.
I think we should do that.
So, just like the intro, like not bad singing and whatnot, but like the tune you probably recognize
That
from
was
The Lion King.
Grammy worthy. Come on, that was
So,
Grammy worthy.
yeah, because The Lion King has actually come out with a live-action trailer. It's directed by Jon Favreau. It just came out a few days ago. So, Kate, what did you think about the trailer?
Well, I think it was interesting because it was a shot for shot, like exact same as the original Lion King trailer, which I thought it was really interesting that they did it. I mean, I saw a comparison video and it was literally shot for shot with the original animated version. But it was exciting. I didn't think baby Simba could get much cuter, and there he is being all cute again.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm really excited. I think the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that James Earl Jones is back as Mufasa, because no one else can be Mufasa.
Yeah, it's kind of selfish of me to say, but I'm glad he hadn't, like, died or
Oh
anything
yeah,
like
me
that.
too. I love
couldn't
me
imagine
some
who had done
James Earl
that.
Jones.
I
Like,
mean, he sounds very old now. I mean, if you listen to him.
But for one, I will go see this. I will go see this movie.
I'm very excited too. Like looking at the trailer, like you said, it was like shot for shot kind of thing. You know, granted, to me it's still animated. You know, it's not really live action.
Yeah, people say it's a live action version, but it's just really good CGI.
Yeah, which I don't know how I'm going to feel about seeing Mufasa die for a second time in high quality like that.
Just don't bring it up. Just,
Yeah.
You know, that was the one thing that you weren't supposed to mention in there, and then you brought it up. So, yeah. Sorry,
sorry.
Mufasa.
I'm sorry, Kate.
Yeah.
But anyway, in case you don't know, like I said, Jon Favreau, the guy that directed the first 2 Iron Man movies, he's also directed a lot of other great movies out there. He also directed, what was it, The Jungle Book recently.
The Jungle Book, yeah, the live action.
Which is, this is basically
Jungle
that, again. But yeah, Jon Favreau, what do you think about his movies, Kate?
I enjoyed Iron Man. Most of what I'm familiar with him mostly as an actor.
Yeah.
Because like it's really funny because I was flipping through TV the other day and Rudy was on, and he was in Rudy.
Oh, he's in Rudy?
He was in Rudy.
No, he's not.
He I promise you, he was in Rudy.
That's crazy.
I know. He played the guy who like tutored him.
Oh, that's cool.
And I enjoyed one of his more recent movies, Chef.
Yeah.
Which I think he wrote, directed, and starred in.
That's something I really admire about Jon Favreau. He can do like these big blockbuster movies with the big studios and whatnot, you know. But then he can also do these really like personal indie projects. And to me, I think, you know, people call him the working man's director because like he's basically the one you call and it's like, oh, just get it done.
Help,
you know?
help.
He's like Brett Ratner with talent and, you know, class too. Yeah, Brett Ratner, I'm looking at you. But yeah, Jon Favreau, like if you want something done, you call him. But he
Yeah.
has such an indie mentality to his movies where they still have heart and they still have, you know, quality to them. They're not just like, you know, corporate trash, you know.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man could have been that.
Yeah.
It could have really easily gone that way, but thanks to his direction, it did have a solid core to it that I think really showed.
He's like
Get it?
J.J. Abrams with a few extra pounds.
The core, you know.
Oh, no, I got it.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, I got
you
it. I was
that.
just trying to move past it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, speaking about moving past it, Disney also is going to be coming out with an Avengers 4 trailer, but hasn't come out yet. So while I was prepping the show, there was a big rumor going around that Avengers 4 was going to come out with a trailer. But then this is because the Russo brothers, in case you don't know, they did like a little press conference last night with all these different people and talked about the movie and whatnot. And this is a year to the day when the last Avengers trailer came out.
So it's time.
Yes,
It's time, guys.
And Kevin Feige has also said it's going to come out before the end of the year. So, yeah, it still hasn't come out yet. And granted, the big telltale sign of this was that Disney didn't really say anything about it. They, usually they have like the teaser trailer, and it's like, you got to watch Good Morning America because you haven't watched that in 20 years.
They're going to milk it for all it's worth. I mean, it's Disney, and they know how to publicize things. So the fact that they're not pushing it out there and pumping it out.
This was a dirty rumor, so yeah, I did fall into it a little bit because I was excited we could talk on the show, but unfortunately it didn't come out. So instead of talking about the trailer, I thought it'd be fun to talk to Miss Kate Britton about what exactly we want to see out of Avengers 4.
Oh gosh, okay, so people are going to throw things at the screen when I say this. I'm not huge into superhero movies.
Oh, me neither, so it's okay.
And it's not because I don't like superheroes, it's just there are other things that I would rather watch. But Captain America has always been my favorite of the Avengers. I don't know why, but when I saw the first Captain America movie, I just really liked it and latched onto it. I'm a big World War II buff, as you know.
Oh yeah, of course.
So just seeing that, it kind of.
I mean, your last name is directly related to a big part of World War II.
Hey, Britain.
Britain. Yeah.
Yeah. Go England. Woo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we don't say that here.
Anyway, but so I'm just curious to see, because I know that they've said that this is for the main actors, that this is their last one, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what at least their contract as far as their contracts have stipulated?
It's the end of their arcs and it's the end of their contracts per se, and it's also their characters have gone on for the better part of a decade, so it just makes sense for them to kind of close that chapter and let the other kids go.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how it wraps up and how they move forward from that.
Yeah, I'm like you, I'm much more of an indie film kind of guy. I like the art pieces. I like kind of the people that do really cool and creative things. These blockbusters, I do enjoy them, but I don't crave them. Tyler's more of the guy that really likes these blockbuster movies and gets really into them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I see them so I can figure out what I like about them, and it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's popcorn movies.
I want to be entertained.
Yeah, it's popcorn.
It's so that's what I want out of it is I want to be entertained.
Yeah, and the big thing with me, I really liked the last Avengers movie. It was really, really awesome, and the way they ended it, in case you haven't seen it. So spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen the movie that everyone saw in the world.
Or if you have just not been on the internet.
Yeah, but let's face it, if you haven't seen it yet, you're not going to. But a bunch of half the people in the universe die, and basically all that's left of our crew that we're following around is the original Avengers crew. Which I like the fact that they cut out all the new characters and just let our original people that we know.
Well, it's like getting
go.
rid of a little bit of bloat,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's follow the core. Let's follow our core group.
Yeah, I know, when there's 67 characters in the movie.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. But
I'm glad that this last hurrah for these characters isn't muddled with the other things that they just introduced not long ago. I want to see the characters
back to basics.
I want to see them do the last hurrah for all these characters. And I'm really curious to how they're going to do it. I literally don't know what they're going to do. I imagine Captain Marvel is going to be involved somehow, but
the fact that nothing has really leaked is, I feel like it's fairly impressive.
Yeah, and also the goal of the directors, the Russo brothers, to end a movie where everyone dies at the end, and the hero
and then
wins.
you go, where do we go from here? Where do we go?
Yeah, no, the heroes don't win at the end of that movie, but granted, they're probably going to win at the end of this one. You can imagine.
If they don't, there are going to be a lot of really unhappy people.
Yeah, so I don't know when the trailer's going to come out, but I'm looking forward to it. This is one of the most anticipated movies for me this coming year. I'm just excited to see where they're going to go and see. This whole experiment, this is the first time someone's ever done this successfully, I'm not going to name names, DC, but other people really haven't done it that well,
Did they say anything about a release date?
No, this was totally fanboy speculation.
Okay, well.
But we'll find out. Usually, trust me, we'll know. It'll be all over online.
Score 1 for Disney. Score
everything
for
Disney.
fanboys.
They own the movie market.
They do.
But speaking about owning the movie market, this is what I think is more our speed. Kind of A24, the biggest indie house of them all right now, just made a deal with Apple streaming services to make original content for them. So,
is it bad that when the Apple logo came up, I really wanted it to be like the startup sound for a Mac?
Oh yeah.
Dun.
Well, no, there's nothing bad about that.
Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, Apple streaming services. I've never gone to the streaming services. I have Netflix. I never watch it.
So I partake in most of the streaming services. I have a Hulu subscription. I steal my parents' Netflix subscription.
Most people steal it.
Yeah,
So.
I
And
use
like in a
that,
quality
and
way,
like
don't
and
worry.
like Amazon Prime and HBO Go. So I partake in all of these, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I partake in all of the streaming, and I find it to be really, really convenient, and I like the convenience of it. Yeah. Now, that being said, so I mean, I don't know. It's Apple. Do you really? I mean, are they going to do anything? Are they going to do anything?
Someone just fell above the floor of us.
It was the spy that lives in the vents.
It's okay. Let's move past it.
Anyway, but it's one of those things. Apple is known for their innovation. Are they really going to bring anything to it that other streaming services haven't already put forward?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Amazon has been coming out with some really, really cool original content. Hulu's come out with some really awesome stuff. Netflix has had some really awesome films.
I mean, one of my favorite new shows of the past year was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and that was on Amazon. And you know, I never suspected to be like, I love this show. It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, and Netflix is a really kind of like, it used to be like a dumping ground for like pretty much any movie that wanted to be put up there. But now it's like
really quality.
It's really quality. Like they give indie directors so much reign to try to give them to do something really cool. The Stephen King adaptation Gerald's Game was really awesome. If you guys saw that.
And then you have on Hulu Castle Rock.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is yet another.
Everyone's got like all these really, really cool things, but no one's really powered up. Got with such like a powerhouse like A24, you know.
And so I feel like this really, I mean, I'm curious to see what happens because like I said, I don't know what exactly they can improve upon, like
that's
specifically.
my problem, yeah.
But I'm curious to see what they do. If they bring something new to the table, then I'm definitely in. But
yeah, the biggest thing with me is that like we're approaching a time where like there's every now and then the industry changes. You know, it used to be like you had to go to the theater, you had to go see the movie, and you had to wait like 6 months for it to go to like a DVD
or
so you could watch it.
VHS.
Oh yeah, VHS.
Remember those?
Yeah. But now we're coming to a time where like, you know, all these, you know, it's not just like, you know, me and you with a camera and putting it up online like on YouTube like it was like 15 years ago. It's like this is an actual production house that's putting out some of the most like quality films of the last decade. Is like doing the streaming service thing now, and I think we're approaching a time where like there's going to be a choice to like, do we want to go to the movies to see this, or do we just want to
stay at home and stream it? And for me, if given the choice, if it depends on the film. If it's something that I really, really want to see and I'm very excited about, there are some things that just can't beat going to the movie theater and sitting there and watching it with other people.
Yeah, and I think that especially with movies that are independent and a lot of people don't know about.
Quiet.
I think it would really benefit, like with the streaming thing, because the word of mouth gets like really, really like crazy when you know somebody finds something online like this. Especially like, and the biggest thing with there's so many great quality things online like this, but a lot of people just can't find it because it's buried in the sea.
I was about to say, discoverability is like half the battle. If you see something and you go like, oh, that looks really interesting, you will watch it. But if it's not easy for you to find, you know, just browsing around on Netflix, because everybody does that. I know you do it.
Oh yeah.
I know you like you just
I've done it,
you go on there and you're just like, I don't know what I want to watch. Oh, this looks interesting. Click, watch it. I love this.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing with this. You know, that these movies are not just going to be put in the theaters. No one's going to see them because like they just don't know about it. Now they're going to have the credibility and the publicity of Apple behind them, and so maybe more people would actually see these kinds of movies and they would get to the audience they really deserve. So that's what I'm excited about.
I think it has potential. Like I said, as long if they can do something new and refreshing.
I don't see them meddling in movies.
No.
I just see them. This is like a springboard.
It's giving you a platform.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. But another thing about I know you're excited about this because you actually just heard about this not long before the show.
I literally like 5 minutes before I was like, what?
Yeah. So Artemis Fowl, the old books that you read probably as a kid, Disney bought up the rights, and guess what? It's a movie now. So, Artemis Fowl trailer just released. So, Kate, you actually read Artemis Fowl.
No, I did not.
Oh, you know?
I did not.
That's how you said you got the book and never read it.
So, when I was a kid, I went to book fair, and like you do, I was like, oh, this looks cool. Like, the cover looked awesome to me. And I bought it, and I never read it. So I'm really curious.
It's like every book I've ever gotten in my entire life.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this looks cool. Oh, yeah, I'll read that someday later. And then it's like just gone. But I'm going to read this because, you know me, I love the book-to-movie adaptations.
Oh, yeah.
I love comparing the two. But Artemis Fowl it's one of those, it's a young adult novel that really kind of, like I said, kind of, I used to talk about all the time, kind of springs from like the Harry Potter genre, really made young adult what it is. And this is kind of one of the more well-known young adult novels their series that kind of just get swept under the rug sometimes.
Yeah, and like, see, I had heard this name before. I'd never like read any of the books or really kind of looked into what this was, but yeah, this definitely came in the era of like, you know, superpower kids and like, you know, like teenagers that like are big and important and like gonna save the universe, you know, and you know that was a big genre, you know.
So the only thing I think I remember is something about this kid has a lot of money.
Oh, so he's Batman?
He might be Batman. I don't know. This could just be a Batman prequel.
It's like minor Batman?
I don't know. Anybody can be Batman. I can be Batman.
I don't know. This looks like he's dressed like the Men in Black. Like from what I understand, he's like, you know, this like rogue criminal. I have it written down over here. Like he's like some sort of like criminal mastermind.
Okay, yeah, I know he's like some kid genius.
Yeah, he's like a kid genius. He goes around with like some assistant and he like fights in the underworld, I think.
So he has to have money if he has an assistant.
Yeah, I've seen these books around.
Yeah.
But I believe the author's name is Aaron Coffer or Coffer or something like
Ian.
that. Ian.
It's Welsh, I think.
Welsh. Okay, that's probably why I promise you I'm
It's
not
like
racist.
EOIN.
Or nationalist, whatever
Yeah.
it is. I don't hate people. But yeah, these books are really, really big. Even though like I didn't really know about them. You know, I didn't know Disney even owned the rights to this.
I didn't either. The only thing, Hyperion is a sub, whatever. It's Disney's publisher, one of the publishing companies there, and so it might be part of them.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really intrigued to see this. You know, the biggest thing with this is like, are they just going to turn this into like some other generic sort of like cookie cutter super
not.
kid thing? You know.
I hope not. I hope it's not like Spy Kids.
Well, Spy Kids, the first one was kind of original. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but the rest
I
of
know
it-
what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope they don't do like the by the numbers, you know, the kid's from a really bad background and now he's gonna make the
He's like,
hero's
I have
journey,
to
you
run
know?
away with a backpack on now.
Yeah, and now he's been picked up and
Yeah.
that he's the chosen one. You know, I swear if they do a chosen one thing, it's gonna be so stupid. But
There are so many.
if they kind of do something a little bit
many.
different than like just the typical hero's journey with this
Yeah.
kind of thing, I think this could be something interesting. Otherwise, 17% in Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey, are you going to write that down just to remind yourself?
Oh, don't worry,
when it
I go
comes
back
up?
through the show. I'm most likely wrong, but
Okay.
37%.
Okay,
whatever.
I say 42%.
42%? Okay.
Future
so
Kate, I say 42%.
I'm going to go up and do 22%. You're going how, 42?
Yeah.
22, 42, okay?
Okay.
So a year from now, if we're wrong, just
Okay, future Kate and
send us
Isaac,
an email.
get with it.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching so far. If you want to leave us any comments about anything we've talked about, you can leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. Love to hear what you guys have to say. So we're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we have a really fun segment that ties into some movies that have been coming out recently. Sorry. Anyway, guys, we're going to be back pretty soon. I'm going to get this out of my chest.
You just,
Ah!
chest burster.
Okay, see you in a little bit.
Alien.
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
The Nash Community College Betsy B. Curran Child Development Center provides superior early education for children ages 6 weeks to 5 years. The 5-Star Center is a model training program for college students serving as teacher assistants. Classrooms are staffed with teachers who earn degrees in child development, early childhood education, or a related field, and assistants hold the North Carolina Early Childhood Credential. As the only Shape and See demonstration site within a 5-county region, healthy menus, interactive play, and extended outdoor learning are among the offerings that set NCC apart from other centers. Plus, parents can track their child and receive real-time updates through our mobile app called Hi Mama. For more information or to schedule a tour, call 252-451-8495 or visit www.nashcc.edu/cdc. The Nash.
Amen. Guys, how you doing? This is Isaac the Ingrown Hair Anderson.
And I'm Kate. Okay.
Guys, recently there's been a lot of movies that are trying to either do sequels and or movies that take place before popular movies that you probably know. These are called prequels, and most of them suck. So I thought it'd be fun to do a segment that I hope will be a recurring segment on the show. And
It's the origin story.
no origin story. Those never work out well.
An origin story to the segment.
Okay,
that's
now this is going to be
trying
called.
to tie it in.
It's like why this doesn't cut it. And today we're
That
talking about
didn't work.
prequels. So
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. You
didn't
tried.
work. I
You
know.
tried. Like a lot of these movies, you tried.
I did.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the first edition of why this doesn't cut it. And yep, the topic is prequels. And
Cut it.
cut it out. Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Whatever his name was.
Joey.
Yeah. Whatever. Dave Coulier.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through 3 points and kind of really drive them home. Kind of why specific things don't work. And specifically today we're talking about prequels. And I've come up with 3 things. You can agree or disagree, Kate.
Okay.
On why I think these kind of movies don't work. But without any further ado, I think we should go right into it.
Okay, I'm listening very intently.
Okay. The first reason why I think prequels most likely don't work is they rely too much on references and nostalgia. Okay?
I agree.
Okay. So
Yeah.
examples. Okay. Han Solo movie.
Oh.
So this came out not too long ago, and granted, this is not a movie that pretty much anybody was looking forward to. Not even the people in the movie were looking forward to this film.
Which is sad because it's a good cast.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie
Yeah.
too, which is really weird. But this movie relies really heavily on like the things that you know and recognize of Han Solo, and that's a really big crutch. Without that, the movie really wouldn't work. And
You want something that brings something new to the story.
Yeah, but like when it brings too much new, it's not the story anymore. So you kind of have to have these things in there, but they become annoying. Same thing with the Hobbit movies. You like the Hobbit movies?
No.
Yeah, me neither. They had that bad problem too of bringing things back up and bringing characters back up.
And it's just sad because the Hobbit. I mean, those are my people. So.
Yeah, and I got that because short. Yeah. So also our favorite prequel, Star Wars prequels. That's pretty much all those movies are, is just basically references to all these other kinds of movies or throwbacks. Remember this? Remember that? But like not in like a stupid Disney way, but like in an even dumber way.
Now, granted, this does not mean they're bad movies, but pandering.
Pandering. That's pandering to your audience because you're not confident enough in your story and you want to put things in there that will, it's basically like shining a shiny object in front of a cat.
Okay.
But that's enough about that. Number 2 is
Okay, I'm
giving
ready.
too much background on things that really people don't really need to know.
I also agree.
Okay, so specifically, like in this photos right here, we talked a little bit about Fantastic Beasts 2. Kate, I don't think you've seen Fantastic Beasts 2.
I have not yet.
So
I'm
I'm-
going to, but if you want to, no, don't spoil it for me. 'Cause
I'm
then
not
you
gonna
spoil it for
spoil it.
other people.
I'm
and-
going to say who this character is. You can probably...
Oh, I know that. I know
Okay,
that. I know
so
that.
in case you don't know, this character right here is Nagini. Remember Nagini? From the movie,
That's my snake.
So, yeah, so they tried...
It's been a long day.
No,
It's been a long
I
day.
understand. So they try to basically give Nagini this backstory of like Nagini's a hot Asian woman,
Good for her.
And there's a line in the movie that is just cringeworthy. You'll see in the review that I made later if you want to see that. But yeah, why do we need to know Nagini was a hot Asian girl?
Why does she need to be a hot Asian girl?
I don't know. I get why they did that. They want us to care about these kinds of things and give us a little bit more background. Same thing with the Star Wars prequels. They tried to give us way too much background, like, Anakin was really just a pouty boy from the beginning,
No. So bad.
Like, he was just a bad
I
egg from
hate
the
them
start.
all.
I hate them.
I killed them all.
Yeah, and do we really need to know
Like,
that,
animals.
I don't think so. But also, in Prometheus, do we really need to know where the aliens came from?
No.
Do we really need to know that there's an android that was just mad at experimenting and that's how the aliens? Why can't they just exist?
Well, and it's one of the because I loved Prometheus when it came out. It scared the bejesus out of me.
Oh yeah.
It did.
It gets a lot of bad flack. I like the movie.
I enjoyed it, but I love Alien. You know this. It's one of my favorite films ever. And I like Alien and I like Aliens, and I like them both equally because they're basically two different genres. Yeah. But the more you see the alien, the less scary it becomes.
Yeah, and the more you know about the alien,
the less scary
like,
it is.
I don't want to see like an alien, you know, like his dad and like, you know.
It's like, hey, son.
Yeah, well, I mean, David's basically the father to these kinds of things.
David's going to go play catch with the
it's so
baby
dumb.
alien.
And like, I don't want to know about that. And they're much scarier when you don't know anything about them. And it just goes like that all throughout these kinds of series. But that's a big reason why I think most of these movies don't work.
Yeah.
And the last, but definitely not least of the problems of these prequel movies is these are stories that no one cares about.
Fair. That's fair. And, you know, it's one thing I always learned. So I took a screenwriting, playwriting class in college, but it's very similar. But the key is to have characters and stories that you care about. Otherwise, no one's going to want to watch it.
Yeah.
If no one cares about the character, they're not going to want to watch the story. Yeah. They're not going to want to know how it ends.
And that's probably the biggest fault out of all of these, okay? So, because, tell you the truth, I don't care about seeing, you know, taxation routes back in the old world of Star Wars, you know? I just want to see them blow up the Death Star and Luke Skywalker. I want to cheer him on going down, you know?
Yeah!
That's what I want to see,
Luke.
you know? And I don't care about, you know, Ezra Miller and hot Asian girl going around the 1920s back in the, you know, and Dumbledore's there. I don't, like, that's not something I care about. I don't care what Grindelwald did. I know he's a bad guy. Do I need to know that, like, you know, he was just, you know, he was just a lovable dude that Dumbledore was just really tight with, and like that way.
I do have one quick question for you concerning prequels.
Okay.
And I believe we've talked about this before. Dumbledore, his fashion sense, it changes.
Yeah, he goes from three-piece
suits to really jaunty, sparkly gowns and hats.
Oh, he had to represent, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
But also, like the Hobbit movies, like, do we really care about the battle of the 4 or 5 armies?
There are lots. There are more than 2.
Yeah, even though there's
Hobbit
4
in the battle of more than 2
I think it's the 5
armies,
armies, but there's only 4 in the movie, which is really weird. And the clones. Who cares where they got the clones? That kind of ruined it. They
you
had
know,
to
I
retcon
completely
that.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'd completely forgotten about the clones.
You know, George Lucas intended those to be like the stormtroopers that you see in the original movies, but they had to retcon those because it's like, oh, that's stupid. You know, along with like 50,000 other things, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that because it really doesn't matter.
Sorry, guys.
Why can't we to me, what makes a story great is when a story is allowed to flourish and it's allowed to kind of go and kind of sit with you for a little bit and have an impact. When you know too much about it, it's not as exciting, it's not as engaging.
If it's something that you're going to keep thinking about, you know, for days, months, years to come.
Yeah, and the more you dig into it, the worse it becomes. But yeah, that's my opinion on the why prequels don't really cut it. If you guys have any opinions, do you think I'm wrong? You think I'm right? You think Kate's a pretty good host and she should be here all the time? You can leave a comment at facebook.com/studio67ncc. Love to hear what you guys have to say, and thank you so much for watching. And let us know what other things you want to say. Don't cut it.
Be gentle.
Please.
Be gentle.
We have sensitive, pale skin.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
Burns easily.
So next week on Quick Flicks, we're reviewing Creed 2. So that's going to be really interesting. It's actually a sequel, not a prequel. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name's Isaac Anderson.
I'm Kate Britton.
Stay lovely, guys.